Hello guys, welcome to our Sports Bongo Live YouTube channel. It's the US Open Tennis round 1. T Paul is winning. Zapata Miralles is winning versus Queen. Mosel is losing to Drogout. J Sabajda is winning versus Kirendo. Fuskovic is winning their hard match versus Skoda. Lehika is winning the first leg. Fridge is winning versus Johnson. Wesley versus Kuakaut. Kaut is winning. Kakmanovic is winning. Hijakata is winning. And on the other hand, women side, Sabajda is winning. One second. talking about the preview of Muller versus Djokovic. Alexandre Muller versus Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic initiated his US Open preparation by participating in the Cincinnati Masters a few weeks ago with the specific aim of confronting his latest rival Carlos Alcaraz. His goal was to avenge the stinging loss he experienced in the Wimbledon championship match, a defeat that not only marked the conclusion of his 10-year undefeated streak on the prestigious center court at Wimbledon, but also shattered his aspirations for a calendar Grand Slam. Furthermore, the defeat symbolized a symbolic shift in the tennis, sparking uncertainties about Djokovic's potentiality taking a secondary role to the emerging Spanish player. The former number world quest for revenge could not have unfolded more perfectly, aligning precisely with his desired outcome. His triumph was achieved in a manner that mirrored his aspiration. Despite grappling with the challenging conditions in Cincinnati and teetering on the brink of defeat, his remarkable comeback left his opponent Carlos Alcaraz visibly emotional and in tears at the conclusion of the match. The achievement served as an im- impeccable response, response to his previous Wimbledon loss, a defeat that had caused Djokovic himself to break down in tears. The mutual respect between Djokovic and Alcaraz is evident, but there's underlying intensity and captivating rivalry developing between them. This dynamic injects a sense of excitement into the tour, filling a void left by the decline of Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal in recent years. Alexander Muller is currently experiencing his career best season on the main tour, showcasing improved performances. However, his progress in Grand Slam tournaments has been hindered by the consistently challenging draws he has encountered. In his recent Grand Slam match at Wimbledon, he faced off against the world number one Carlos Alcaraz in the second round. Now, in the first round of the US Open, he is set to take on Novak Djokovic, who is poised to become the world number one. This follows his earlier match against Jannik Sinner in the first round of the French Open, his home slam, just a few months ago. The US Open main draw debutant is currently undergoing the least favorable phase of his season, which is far from ideal when facing a formidable opponent like Novak Djokovic. He has participated in 5 matches across various levels since his defeat against Alcaraz at Wimbledon and unfortunately has suffered losses in all of them. Head to head 0-0 attempting to halve Novak Djokovic's ongoing 22 matches winning streak against French opponents dating back to 2018 seems like an impossible task for Alexander Muller. Let's see. The match will begin very soon, so please make sure to subscribe to the channel.
that they connect with, and that's the most beautiful thing. In fact, I'm sitting next to a kid right here. Are you a tennis player?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Josh.
Hi, Josh. You're joining our US Open Radio Airways right now. So you're a tennis player.
Yeah.
Are you having a good time out here?
Yeah.
Who have you liked so far?
I mean, I watched Rude play, and he had a nice win against Nava. Yeah.
That's awesome. When I first came to the US Open, I was around your age. How old are you?
I'm 11. I'm turning 12 months.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday is in yours. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of the US Open. I hope you get some inspiration. And I think your dad is sitting right there. So when you go back home, maybe you can have a backhand like Jen Brady out here. How does that sound?
Yeah.
That would be good.
Well, friend, great interview. And I absolutely love coming to the U.S. Open, especially getting a chance to see those, the next generation. USTA Foundation has done a great job of making sure that kids in all aspects and parks have the opportunity to at least try the game, and I absolutely love that.
Well, Prim, I want to ask you a follow-up what you were talking about. You mentioned talking about coming to the U.S. Open yourself. So take me back those years ago. What are your memories when you came to the U.S. Open? And because I know you played tennis to a high level, so when you came to the U.S. Open, were you inspired back then?
I really was. I was around 8 or 9 years old. I think it was. So this is like 1989. Not to date myself. I just did. Age is just a number, right, guys? So I came over here. It was with my dad and my junior coach at the time. So we flew up here to New York, and back then they had these. I just had like a paper booklet. They didn't have I don't remember them having the big balls, the cool balls, like the kids do these days. So I just had this like paper booklet, and I got Andre Agassi's autograph. I got Stefan Edwards. I think I got Michael Chang in there. Maybe Gabriele Sabatini. So yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about. It's just.
I don't think the big balls came until like the late '90s.
but Prim, that's very impressive.
It's like a modern day thing.
You're listing some Hall of Famers. I mean, you got they gave you your signatures.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was, what was that, 30 years ago. So I have to say that the crowd was probably smaller back then, which is the beauty of the game, though, because you come out here, if you came out here Sunday, yesterday, the main draw, I mean, it was completely packed. And so I think the thing that I love so much about the game now is how diverse it's become, and diverse in so many different ways. We're not just talking about gender, race, or ethnicity, but size, accessibility, all those things, and a lot of that has to do with the GOAT, Billie Jean King,
Yes.
who really inspired the 50-year anniversary of equal pay here at the US Open. But just to give you a nice little score update here, so Kimberly Burrell, she's up 5-4 right now, but Jen Brady, she's up 40-15. So we'll see if this one goes to a third set. Not sure.
Prim, thank you very much. And just to follow up on what Prim was talking about, Fan Week and how popular it was, more than 150,000 fans turned up for Fan Week. That is a record.
Wow.
So that shows you, at number 2, participation numbers in tennis in the United States have also gone up through the roof. Habitually, it's gone up in the teens, 15, 16, 17%. But we're told before the tournament it's gone up above 30%. So that is absolutely great news. And I know it's great news also to Gil Gross. Gil, you can talk about that and also tell us what is happening in the match you are watching.
Well, first of all, I was blown away at how many fans were at the U.S. Open last week for free. Even on days where there were no qualifying matches, I was here on Sunday, and tons of fans were here just watching practice, which is incredibly entertaining. You can get so close to the stars of the sport. But, you just had me thinking of my experience with the U.S. Open as well, with Prim interviewing the kid. My first ever match at this event as a fan was the final in 2009 between Roger Federer and Juan Martín del Potro. So for a while I thought, I will never beat that. My first match is going to be my best match, and it's just that's how it's going to be. And And then I saw Sinner versus Alcaraz last year. I think maybe that topped it. So that was the start, but I've also gone through 3 phases of my life with the U.S. Open. I started as a fan, and then, at that point I was hoping that one day I'd be on the court playing. And then I started to get older, and I realized, that's probably not in the cards. I don't know that I have the talent for that. So I decided, I'm still going to get on the court. I became a ball boy. I ball boyed in 2013 and 2014, and then I decided that I'd rather talk about the sport, and now the last 3 years I've been fortunate enough to be here as a broadcaster. So it's been a great journey with the U.S. Open for me that I hope continues for a very, very long time.
And Gil, you do a great job, and thank you for all that you do for tennis. I had no idea that's the way you came up in every aspect of the game of tennis.
Certainly, Gil, and I want to follow up and say, so 2009, that final between Delpo and Roger, by the way, the only time Roger lost a Grand Slam final when he was up 2-1 in sets. How did you get tickets for that, Gil?
I was way, way up, very far away. On Ash, of course. It was before the roof was there, so it was a little bit different up there in terms of the visual of it all. But you know what? My parents worked a lot, and I think Sunday was the only day that was going to work. And I think it was as simple as they couldn't do it the first Sunday, so men's final it is. And, they actually weren't all that interested in tennis. And, it was kind of just, we want to go, we want to get in. I don't think they really knew what they were signing up for, but in fact they were signing up for the only major in the great career of Juan Martín del Potro, which ended up, it's just such a special, historic match it ended up being.
Oh, definitely. I had the
by the way, also,
no, go ahead.
I just wanted to update you on Armstrong. It was 6-2, 6-1, 4-1 for the number 9 seed Taylor Fritz. Just has been one-way traffic from the very start, unfortunately, for Stevie Johnson. But also, this is huge for Taylor. And it's not just because of what happened in the U.S. Open last year with the loss to Gauff. You look at the majors after that. The second round loss to Alexis Popper in Australia. Third round to Cerundolo and Roland Garros. And at Wimbledon, second round loss up 2 sets to love against Michael Weiner, winning a 5-set first round. So it wasn't, the U.S. Open last year was the start of it. It's been tough sledding in the slams for Taylor over the course of the last year.
Yes, it has. That's a very good point. We know the quality he has, the pedigree that he has. So this is going to sting the fact that after his big year last year to break through, he hasn't done what he would have liked at Grand Slam level. But it looks like he's going to come through with a win in a matter of minutes. We'll get back to Gil when that match reaches its conclusion. We're going to focus now on Tommy Paul, who's facing the Italian, and Stefano Travaglia. There's a backhand by Tommy Paul. Chris Cordet all over. He's all over the Italian. He's not giving him any time to breathe. That's the way he loves to play his tennis. He's one of the most athletic players out of the tours. He's having spectacular.
Yeah, I have been literally watching him every match that he's on, that he's playing. I'm not missing his match. One thing I love is that he literally is starting to play every aspect of the court. But what I love about Tommy Paul is he has this sneakiness, competitive nature that's in him. You don't really think that he's out there kind of like this guy, oh yeah, I'm just having a good time. But he's always in the match, and that's what I absolutely love about him.
Just jammed there by an excellent serve from Travaglia right into the body. As Brian was mentioning earlier, Chase, where this was a qualifier, is Travaglia. Had to wait a long time to get to this stage. And
can you be out there with blood on you?
No, there's something in the rulebook that if there is the blood flowing, I do believe the play has to be stopped just to clean that up. I'm not sure if Champar maybe has not seen it or will wait till the end of this game, but as Zina has said, under the knee of Tommy Paul, there's a scrape and there is blood coming from that under the knee section. But now he's going to his chair after just breaking. It's a backhand wide. And it's actually him telling the Champar, do I need to do something here and get to the trainer? So maybe the trainer is going to come up. But he's looking good in this match. Tommy Paul up now by a set and a break, 2 under the second. Come back and join us more on US Open Radio, presented by American Express.
As the official fan ticket marketplace of the US Open, Ticketmaster has the widest selection of tickets available, so you can be there live for every match. When you buy on Ticketmaster, you can pick the seat you want, so you can make sure you have the best view of every pivotal moment of the match. Plus, all US Open tickets from Ticketmaster Ticketmaster on mobile, which makes getting in on match day a breeze. And if your plans change, Ticketmaster gives you a safe and easy way to sell your tickets. Whether you're buying or selling tickets on Ticketmaster, all tickets are verified, so you never have to worry. Head to Ticketmaster.com or download the Ticketmaster app to find your seat today.
Experience iconic Dubai with Emirates, home to soaring skyscrapers, adrenaline-fueled entertainment, and world-class shopping. Fly Emirates to Dubai and discover the unexpected. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Back on day one of the U.S. Open, isn't the first day of Grand Slam just something you're like a kid in a candy store? So much going around, so much happening. You know that a player is going to win a first Grand Slam match. You know a player is going to win from 2 sets down, as happened today. Juan Manuel Serrano, which was, by the way, his first Grand Slam. Brother of Francisco Serrano.
This August, add stars to your Crave subscription and see the shows that critics can't get enough of.
We are having a bit of a moment.
Hailed as addictive, a new season of Minx.
Sales are through the roof.
Called magnificent and compelling. New episodes of Heels.
Wrestling is an amazing thing.
Plus, don't miss hit movies like 22 Jump Street.
What's up, dog?
And The Bucket List with Oscar winners Jack Nicholson.
Start of the Grand Slam tournament, and you love it. And one thing about the atmosphere of the U.S. Open being the last, it's like everyone wants to get that last bit, it's the last Grand Slam, and you want to really, really show what you can actually do.
Yeah, I mean, it's something the players always talk about. Meanwhile, Jen Brady, things are looking good for her now. She was maybe struggling just for a little bit of time, but Prim, I'm going to throw it over to you for what could be the end of that contest.
It could very well, but Brady's got to close things out, and as we all know, closing out a match is one of the toughest things to do. She's on serve, down, love 15, up 6-5 here in the second set. A beautiful backhand down the line.
Well, if you were going to close out,
at least yeah, sorry, go ahead, Zena.
if you're going to close out a match, this is exactly what you want to do, is get that serve in. But Jen Brady's backhand down the line, it has been money. And as you can tell right there, it's just starting to come back now.
Yeah, I think that's great insight. Zena, I would be curious about what you think is between her biggest weapon, between her forehand and her backhand, because I've seen some really big shots from her on the forehand side. But I think the thing that I love about her game is it's just such an all-around great game. Good serve, she's not afraid to come into the net. But what do you think her biggest weapon is?
I think her biggest strength is that she is do or die, love to compete, and she's not afraid to go for her shots. But her backhand down the line is actually one of those that you don't pay attention to, but when she's playing really well, the forehand isn't just a big weapon, but that backhand down the line can set up a lot of shots.
Yeah, and we just saw a big serve from her right down the middle. And as we were just talking about, she's got so many different weapons. And at this stage in the game, you just have to have multiple weapons. So right now, she's up 6-5 on serve, 30 all, 2 points away from winning this match. Looks like that was just out on the return. Match point for Jen Brady. You can hear the crowd. Some of them getting up on their feet to cheer her on.
Kind of interesting. She wants that ball back, the same one that she's been winning with. Players are really funny, but get to match point, whatever it takes at that point.
Hey, whatever it takes, right? If it's superstition, go for it. First serve is deep. Second serve for Brady. Up 6-5, match point. Second serve for Brady. A nice safe kick in. Back and forth, kind of down the middle. She's playing it safe, keeping the ball in play. Oh, that was really close. That forehand looked like it just touched the back of the baseline. Across court. Wow! Oh.
Just
She was
misses
out of
it
position. That
wide.
was a real. That's right. Yeah, Burrell had a really tough forehand deep into the corner, and Brady decided to go for it down the line, but it was just wide.
Yeah, Jen was just a little bit, she was just a little bit late on that forehand going down the line, but it was the right shot. We're back to deuce now.
Brady will take another shot at that toss. Serve down the middle. Oh, and she just put a little too much on that forehand. Missing deep by a couple of feet.
And as I was saying, Taylor Fritz, by the way, Prim does have a match point as well against Steve Johnson. Looks like he's going to close that one out, but it is saved by Johnson. So they're at deuce. Back to you, Prim.
A lot of matches closing out. A lot of action today on day one here at the U.S. Open.
30-8.
Missed that first serve wide. Second serve for Brady. Hat out. Inside out forehand for Brady. Burrell hit a tough backhand cross court, and Brady tried to hit it with a slice, and she just popped up a little too much, and so that ball went deep. So now we are tied up 6-all, headed to a tie break in the second set. But right now, let's toss it over to Gil. Gil, what do you got?
Prim, it's match point number 2, second serve. Johnson, backhand return down the line. Winner for Taylor Fritz, and he takes it in 3 straightforward sets. The number 9 seed Taylor Fritz, the highest American seed since John Isner in 2012, looks the part in the first round, 6-2, 6-1, 6-2 over the fellow American Stevie Johnson.
Very good win. Very good win for Taylor Fritz after what happened last season. It's a good way to get his campaign going against a guy who's beaten him a couple of times before, who had been a little bit hot. He'd won 2 challengers coming in. Yes, his ranking is down, but it's never easy to face a compatriot who you know quite well, Zina.
No, it's not. Actually, sometimes those are the toughest ones because you know they know your weaknesses as well as you know theirs, and they know the strength. So I think, like I said, Taylor, I think he really has something to prove to himself, not to anyone else, but here at the U.S. Open, that he can finally go deep in a Grand Slam tournament.
And meanwhile, Tommy Paul is up a set and 3-1 now against the Italian Stefano Travaglia, who's wearing a black top, multicolored on one side with a bit of fluorescent green, white shades of blue. He is wearing a cap. Usually has the backward cap, but it's facing front. So he's made a bit of a switch there. Travaglia, the Italian, who can dictate a little bit with his serve. Here's a serve from Travaglia, backhand wing of Tommy Paul with a slice, which he has in abundance. Into out forehand from Travaglia. Then unusually for Paul, he nets the backhand cross court.
Travaglia's doing a good dance, and he's actually really trying to pump himself up. And that's what it's going to take. You know that Tommy Paul is already won a set. He's up 3-1. So Travaglia has to just stay in there and keep trying.
And he's somebody who has an interesting backstory because 2017 suffered a nasty injury. He fell through a window and at home, or where he was living at the time, and he severely injured his arm. So there was thought at that time that he might never play tennis again because of that, but he's been able to come through that. So he's behind in this match. Of course, he's happy to be back playing after his recent injury woes, but he has some work to do because Tommy Paul is up by a set and 3-2. And you listen to U.S. Open Day 1, presented to you by American Express.
Chase has been a proud sponsor of the U.S. Open for 42 years and is committed to enhancing the experience for customers and fans. Chase customers get access to the Chase Lounge, Chase Terrace, and more with Chase Pass. Visit chase.com/US Open to learn more. Capacity is limited.
Drink Evian, the source of refreshment for your body and mind. Born in the French Alps, our water starts as snow and rain and travels through layers of glacier rock, where it gets its naturally occurring electrolytes for a cool, crisp taste. Mountain-made minerals, from alpine glacier rocks to you. Evian. Live young.
Experience Experience iconic Dubai with Emirates, home to soaring skyscrapers, adrenaline-fueled entertainment, and world-class shopping. Fly Emirates to Dubai and discover the unexpected. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
There's nothing like the U.S. Open with American Express. Follow every point with an in-ear radio. Take a break in the Amex card member lounge, then back to the action. See how to elevate your U.S. Open experience at usopen.org/Amex. Don't live life without it. Terms apply.
Plenty of margin. Here's a backhand going to the backhand of the barrel, right down the middle with good depth from both players at this stage. Here's a little bit of a shorter ball. She pounces with the angle forward, which she loves, Jen Brady. Swinging volley. Has she hit it long? No, she hasn't. It's just inside the baseline, and the ball actually ran into Kimberly Burrell, who drops her racket. Really had no chance, and Brady is up 3-2.
That was interesting because Burrell had no possible way of getting out of the way of that swinging forehand that Brady hit so well, and literally could not get herself to go either way, and literally got herself hit.
And the issue there was she's trying to make up so much of the ground, thinking the ball was going to go into the corner. But what Brady did was go down the middle, so it actually ran into her, of course, inadvertently. And the point going to the American. And just to tell you again, what is at stake for Jen Brady? She has not won a Grand Slam match since Roland Garros 2021. Last win at the U.S. Open coming in 2020. That was the year she played that excellent semifinal. One of the matches of the year against Naomi Osaka. Into out forehand. The backhand for Burrell, just catching the line cross court. Then she goes out with the forehand. That has more margin to stay in. Here's Brady on the stretch, defending in the forehand corner. Has Brady made it? Oh, she's made it. Burrell has made that cross court forehand. It just drops on the line with enough spin. Oh, one of those points where you say fine margins. Instead of it being 4-2, it's 3-0.
Yeah, that ball just landed literally right on top of the line. Had enough spin on it to just bring it down. Brady couldn't do anything but stand there and look and hope that it was going out, but it was in.